Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know me, I of course am the FPL Train, where on this channel we talk all things fantasy football, and in today's video we're going to be focused on possible transfers we can make ahead of game week 13, where of course it's 3 transfers we'll be looking at: 1 defender, midfielder and striker. But before we do that, like always, we're going to look back on the previous game week on the 3 players I recommended for game week 12. And starting us off on here, we've got Cucurella, which was really frustrating because he only came away with 2 points overall for Chelsea. Obviously, he played against Leicester City away, and it was looking really good. He was set to get a nice clean sheet, and then right at the end of the game, Leicester City got a penalty, which meant Cucurella went from 6-pointer to a 2-pointer. So it was looking like really solid advice. And then that penalty happened at the end, and of course Leicester scored the penalty, which meant that clean sheet got wiped from right from under our eyes, which was pretty painful. But yeah, only 2 points from Cucurella, literally seconds away though from getting that clean sheet, which really was frustrating. So Matoma was my midfield transfer I recommended, and if anybody actually watched these videos, you would have heard me last week say this is the one player out of the 3 I recommended I like most, and this is somebody I'm really looking at, wanted to bring into my team, but I could even take a possible hit to bring this guy in, and if I did, which I backed out of in the end, I would have absolutely been buzzing. So I regretted not doing it, but I would have been buzzing if I did. The guy scored 9 points overall. He got a goal against Bournemouth, 2 bonus points. Should have been 3 in my opinion, but he got 2. But yeah, absolutely awesome midfielder, you know, playing for a decent team, and his next 3 fixtures consist of the likes of Southampton and Leicester City. So if you haven't got him in, get him in your team, because I reckon he's going to absolutely smash it in the next 6 game weeks. So Matoma overall absolutely smashed it there. And finally, Ollie Watkins, another player you could argue also did smash it, albeit it wasn't double-digit figures like obviously Nicholas Jackson though, but he did get a goal, which is obviously the main thing, because he did go 3 Premier League games without a goal. So to finally get that goal against Crystal Palace is a massive plus, and he did get a bonus point. It would have been nice to have 3, but obviously in a 2-2 game, you know, it was slim pickings, and it's not like he got the 4th goal, which was a shame, but, you know, a goal is a goal at least. So yeah, 7 points from him, 9 points from Matoma, and literally seconds away from getting 6 points for Cucurella. Could have been a perfect list there, but, you know, 2 out of 3 from game week 12 is pretty impressive, to be fair, for me, because at the end of the day, most of the time it's 1 if I'm lucky. So to get 2 players to actually perform in game week 12 was a massive plus, and like I keep saying, Cucurella was literally a couple of minutes away from also getting a clean sheet. So it was a shame, but, you know, I'll definitely be taking 2 out of 3. So let's look at the possible transfers we can now make for game week 13. Moving on to game week 13 then, and a defensive transfer I'm going to recommend here is Timber of Arsenal. You might think a bit crazy because he's not 100% of a guaranteed player, but the fact that obviously Ben White is currently out injured makes it more than likely that he is going to be starting over these next few game weeks. And obviously Arsenal's fixtures are pretty decent going forward, and they're notably one of the best defences in the league. Why did I offer Saliba or Gabriel? It's purely based on the fact that this guy is 5.5 million. So he's 0.5 more than obviously, or cheaper should I say, than Saliba, and 0.7 million pounds cheaper than Gabriel. So, you know, every penny counts these days, and people want more and more in their midfield, going for the likes of Palmer, Saka, and of course Salah. So you want to free up money, this is a great option to go for. A guy who's playing for a team, going for the Premier League, one of the best defences in the league. It just makes sense to go for this guy. Obviously his fixtures coming up, I don't think are too bad at all. West Ham away, you know, you never know what West Ham team is coming up, but I would say that Arsenal will get a clean sheet in that game. Man United at home, you never know what Man United turn up, but I do think Arsenal will win that game 3-0 if I'm being honest. I don't think the new manager's got enough time to really change things around just yet. And then after that, you're looking at Fulham away, who've just been battered by Wolves. I think they'll do well against them. Everton don't know how to score goals, so that's a bonus. And Crystal Palace, I mean, Mateta, I would say, is a decent threat for them, but he doesn't start all the time, which is crazy. Eze's currently out injured. Nketiah has proven to be a Championship player, not a Premier League player. So I'd say he's got a decent chance there, get a clean sheet, providing, of course, he starts in those games. So I would say 4 out of 5 games, I could see Arsenal getting a clean sheet there. So the midfield change then is Jarrod Bowen of West Ham. Now, obviously, West Ham's fixture for game week 13 is absolutely disgusting. I can't lie, it is absolutely disgusting. It's Arsenal at home. Do I think he's going to be doing very well in that game? Probably not, if I'm being honest. So you could argue you could hold back for game week 14 to go for this guy, but I'm looking at other teams so far who've got a decent run. Ipswich have got a really nice run going forward as of now, but the problem is you look at Ipswich's midfield, there's nobody really there that I'd want, like, at all. And then you could argue Wolves as well, and it's the same problem. There's nobody there that I'd want. So after that, you're looking at possibly going for maybe an Aston Villa player, or you could look at going for a West Ham player. In this instance, I have gone for a West Ham midfielder, and Bowen. Obviously, he's an absolutely fantastic player, scored an international break for England. You know, got an assist the other night against Newcastle. The guy is an absolutely sensational midfielder, more of a tackle, you'd say. So yes, I don't think he would do great against Arsenal, but Leicester City in game week 14, Wolves in 15, Bournemouth 16, Brighton in 17. I reckon he could get something in all 4 of those games. So that is why I'm saying go for Jarrod Bowen. Maybe you want to take Mbeumo right now, because Mbeumo might be drying up soon. You know, how long can he continue there? You don't know. Take him out and bring in someone like Bowen. Maybe not for game week 13, because Mbeumo's got Leicester. But after that, you know, game week 14, definitely get Bowen in. But, you know, if you want to go in early, you know, definitely look at Bowen there, because you never know what could happen in game week 13. And finally then, the forward change is, of course, Danny Welbeck. Now, this was a really difficult one between him and his teammate, João Pedro. But I'm just going for Danny Welbeck because, I mean, he's had a storming start to the season. And he starts every game. João Pedro starts sometimes. He might start on the bench other times because of his injury problems. Danny Welbeck starts week in, week out. 6 million, bargain for striker. Southampton at home next. Get him in. Get a Brighton attacker in for game week 13 because they have got Southampton at home. Must have definitely, because oh my god, did anybody watch Southampton the other day? How did they not, you know, get at least a point against Liverpool? They just give it away. So you need an attacker for Brighton against Southampton. Then after that, you got the likes of Fulham, Leicester, Crystal Palace, and West Ham. Now I'm not joking. Danny Welbeck could score in every single game in the next 5 game weeks, or at least get something. Maybe it'd be an assist or something like that. But either way, Brighton's fixtures are too good to ignore. You have to have a Brighton attacker now because, oh my word, they're great on the ball. They're great to watch Brighton, and boy are they attacking, and boy are these fixtures delicious. I don't care if they don't win games as long as they score goals, and Danny Welbeck has been scoring goals this season, and this just makes 100% sense. Obviously, if you want to go for João Pedro, I 100% understand that. But I've just gone for Danny Welbeck just purely based on the fact that he starts games. So yeah, that is it then for this video. Those are the 3 players I'm recommending: Timber, Bowen and Danny Welbeck. Let me know what you think of these 3 transfers. Do you think they are terrible transfers, or do you think we should be looking at somebody else? Let me know which players you think we should be looking at instead if that is the case. And before you go, please do not forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.